Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Cantrell here in my favorite jersey, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I grew up in Pennsylvania, just a little bit north of Pittsburgh, so they're always my favorite football team. Today, we're going to the next part in Goat in the Garden. When we ended the last time, Mandy and her dad were peeking through a hedge, trying to see what was going on with this goat and these men that were yelling at it. The men were trying to catch the goat because it was eating their ivy, but they weren't being very successful. So let's see what happens next. Remember, this is a chapter book, and it doesn't have a lot of pictures, so I'll show you pictures when I get to them. Men pursued the goat. Goat kicked his heels, cat crashed through a tiny hedge, across a bed of rhododendrons, deep footprints everywhere. Men fell down on the frosty slope. Goat swooped down here towards willows by the pond. Willow, like ivy, was clearly a favorite treat. Uh-oh, Dr. Adams said, seeing ahead to the next move. Shh, Mandy warned. Sometimes she wanted the goat to win. Not that she had anything against the men. She just naturally sided with animals every time. Look, he's going to get away. The men charged down the icy slope. The goat munched the willow twig. It glanced sideways, shook its head, and deftly stepped one more time. The men roared out of control. They skidded, slipped, and slid down the final few yards. They grabbed whatever they could to stop themselves, but it was only each other, and together they crashed into the icy pond, shrieking and yelling. Ha! Mandy couldn't help it. She laughed into her plaid wool scarf. Canadian geese flapped noisily across the pond, while the goat capered off up the slope, leaving the men wet and stranded. Come on, Dr. Adam ordered. Let's head it off. They could tell that the goat's direction was down the main driveway. With luck, they could get to it as it reached the gate, and its fun would be over. Who does he belong to? Mandy said in a low voice as they ran. Do you know? Dad shook his head. No, I've never seen him before. But we better get hold of him before those two do and see if we can get him back to his proper owner. I wouldn't want to be in this goat's shoes if Dennis and his boss get to him first. They reached the gate and stood there, legs apart, arms stretched wide in a human barrier. The goat saw them, pulled up short, and set up a loud, mad bleating. Do you think they'll catch the goat? How are they going to do it? Dennis and his boss were not successful. And what does bleating mean? Did you know that bleating means the sound that goats make? So when they go, ah, ah, that's their bleating noise. He shot a glance behind at the enraged, dripping men still clamoring out of the pond. Then common sense overcame him. Remember, we're talking about the goat. He stopped bleating, so he stopped making his noise. He lowered his head, and gentle as a lamb, he walked straight into Mandy's open arms. Here, boy, here, she breathed. She had fallen right away for the goat's beautiful green eyes. He had an intelligent face. He was magnificent. Here, she coaxed. He would let her stroke him and take him by the collar. He would allow her to lead him off to safety. She beamed at her father. That means she smiled really big. You go on. You seem to have a way with him, Dr. Adams said. I'll stay here and have a word. And he stepped in between the beautiful black goat and its pursuers. Hello, I'm Adam Hope from Animal Ark, he said pleasantly. I see you've been having a bit of trouble. Mandy didn't wait to hear the rest of the conversation. Proudly, she led the goat on down the lane. So now Mandy has a goat. But what's she going to do with it? She doesn't know who it belongs to. How is she going to find out who its owners are? You'll have to tune into the next section to find out.